Hi, today we are going to talk about Life Skills A1 test. This test is also known as Marriage Visa Test, A1 English Test, UKVI Life Skills Test. It is also called a Spousal Visa Test. So all of you are sitting today for this one and the same test, no matter whichever name is used, but the format and the structure of the test, it will remain one and the same. Okay. Why I am naming all these? Because when you come into system, so usually you say that I'm in need of a one test, a marriage visa test, a UKVI Life Skills A1 test. So it's all about one and the same thing. What your test is based on, it is actually based on two skills. Main part of your spousal visa test, that is going to be speaking, okay. Whereas minor part, it's going to be listening.
Sirji, which is more important between two of them?
Both are important. Why? Just because of the reason that if you fall in your listening, it means you are failing your whole test. If you don't perform in your speaking portion, again you are failed. And there is no such concept like IELTS in this of band scoring. Because if you performed up to the mark, it means you passed the test. If you didn't, you failed the test. So there is only concept of either pass or fail. That is why, like in listening portion or in speaking portion, you have to perform well.
Okay, sir.
If we talk about its time duration, so speaking is equal to 14 to 15 minutes.
Okay, sir.
And you're listening either 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Now you'd be having question in your mind that what these 14 to 15 minutes are about in speaking portion.
Yes.
When you will begin your test in part 1, examiner will ask questions which will be related to your personal background information. That's why we call part 1 as an introductory portion.
Okay.
Which I have discussed in my previous videos, and that is in detail wise. So I'll not focus in this one session on that introductory session.
Okay, sir.
But here we are going to talk about your part 2 and part 3.
Sir, how much parts?
There are 3 speaking parts.
Okay, sir.
And most important, where candidates they are supposed to speak, that is part 2 and part 3. Now how they are supposed to speak? Because in part 2, a topic will be given, and for which you will have preparation time. That P time, it means preparation time. It will be 1 minute, and candidate's response will be recorded for 1.5 or for 2 minutes time duration.
Which kind of topic it would be?
Topics which will be given to you people, they will be common in context. That let's say examiner is giving you topic, describe your favorite TV program. They are not a kind of topics with which you will not be familiar. That's why I'm calling it common types of topic. Or you will be given a topic, describe your next door neighbor. Or you will be given a topic, describe a book you have read, or a book you like, describe your favorite TV program, or your favorite shopping mall, or describe a place of natural beauty. So all these are such sort of topics in which you will be tested either in your part 2 or part 3. But what is the difference in between part 2 and part 3? In part 2, candidate will speak either himself or herself for 1.5 or 2 minutes time duration. In part 3, a pair will be made where 2 candidates, they will be given 2 separate topics. Like let's say for candidate A, the topic is neighbor, and for candidate B, The topic is about TV program.
No.
Now candidate A will make 7 to 8 or 10 questions about the topic given to candidate B.
Okay, sir.
And candidate B will make questions from the topic given to candidate A, again 8 to 10 in number.
Okay, sir.
So in part 3, it is going to be a kind of question answer session where each candidate, let's say that this guy is given the topic about favorite place, and the second topic given to B candidate is about neighbor. Now what candidate A will do, or she will make questions 8 to 10 in number from candidate B topic, and similarly candidate B will make 8 to 10 questions from candidate A topic.
Okay, sir.
So both these part 2 and part 3, they are somehow one and the same. Why? Just because of the reason that in this, candidate will speak on the given topic. But in the second portion, where part 3, instead of speaking on the portion, he or she will create questions. What I usually recommend to my students, that once they are preparing their topic for speaking, they should use one and the same criteria in either parts. Because here you are not given that much time duration in which you can write things in the form of sentences. So what you need to do, you have to play with WH questions. What, which, why,
When,
where, when,
who,
how, and if it is about person, who.
and yes, sir.
And alongside that, you have to make few questions from yes/no questions.
Okay, sir.
Let's say that you are given a topic here for part 2 that describe your favorite movie.
Okay.
So ask yourself first questions. Do I watch movies? Obviously you have to speak. This is your exam.
Yes. Yes,
You are
sir.
not having an option of no. So yes, I watch movies. Now question it. Which type of movies I watch? When I watched last time movie? Who is the leading role in that movie? Which is the theme of that movie? What I enjoyed the most in that movie? And why I enjoyed that? Where I watched that? How did I feel by the end of watching that movie? Now what would happen? That would create points for you to speak in your 2 minutes time duration. Plus, it would pave a platform or simplify your part 3 topic. Because in part 3, again you are supposed to make 8 to 10 questions. So once you are preparing your test, before taking your test, what that would help you out, that on exam day, no matter whichever the topic is given to you by an examiner, but at least you would be having a pre-practicing session that would allow you to make your points in part 2. Plus, it would make things easier for you to create 8 to 10 questions which you are supposed to ask from your partner.
Okay, sir.
You are done with your speaking portion. So far as your listening part is concerned, in this, either you will be tested in 2, 3 or 4 questions. Let's say that on the test day you came across with, or you come across with 4 questions. On definite basis, you must have 3 out of 4 correct. If you are not having 3 out of 4, it means you will be failed. You performed well in your speaking test, but you didn't perform well in your listening test, so you lost your result. Why? Because you are not good in listening. How to improve your listening test rather than listening things in the parts? I recommend my students that it is better to at least listen to Cambridge IELTS listening test, where there are 40 questions in each test, and that would help you out to improve your listening credibility.
Okay, sir.
That is what about your Life Skills A1 test is. Still, if you are having any doubts or questions, you are welcome to ask.
Sir, okay, sir. Is this important that our written part or speaking part would be both better, or one would be better?
There is no need of writing. So
Okay.
far as your life skills A1 test is concerned, it is about verbal plus
Okay.
something which is listened.
List. Okay, sir.
So even if you are writing your answers, once recording is played,
Okay, sir.
mistakes over there in your spelling, it is not counted. But
Okay.
what is counted, that either you have written thing and then you said, because examiner asked from you that the recording which was played in front of you was about what. So that is what is important rather than your writing skills.
Okay, sir.
Got
Okay,
it.
sir. Anything else?
Nothing,
Have
sir.
a
No
good
more
day.
questions.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.